Hi, hello, what's up and what's happening? This is Money Green with Shayz on the mic. We are Lyrics and Lies, and let's talk about Glenn Jones, soulful R&B artist who had an unsung episode recently. And he's not somebody that comes up a lot when we talk about music. So let's talk about him now, because it's long overdue. He should get his props if he deserves them. So let's talk about it.
You said if he deserves.
If he even deserves
it. Why you say it like that?
He may not deserve props, but we gonna find out right now.
He deserves them.
He deserves some props. Church kid, music lover, singing in church all the time, joined a gospel group, had a mother that would whoop his ass.
Hey, hard on him.
He brought up an incident when she smacked him in the mouth in church. But one thing he loved was going to church, listening to people sing. He also enjoyed playing in the band. They said that, or in the choir, but he said that he would go to church whether or not his parents were going. He would go on his own just to hear the music and watch the production take place. That was interesting. That's when you know you find your true love. When you do things like that a lot of people think you had to be forced to do or your parents make you do.
Because that's what everybody else says when they start the music. We went to church morning, evening. We had Bible study. We had evening service. We had this service. We was drawn to all these services.
Yeah, and he did that without his parents. He's like, look, y'all not going today, Mom? All right, well, I'll see y'all later. That was big time. Because I know one thing, you had to make a lot of us go to church. For real. And my brother was sick and he had to go, I'm trying to stay home too. And he was faking sick all the time. My brother used to come up with plans not to go to church. And I'd be right with him. All right, you want me to do what?
Well, you went to church by yourself when you got...
When I got knocked out?
Knocked out?
No, I didn't. So, Glenn Jones in the gospel group at the age of 8, played drums for Shirley Caesar. And for $10 a day or whatever. At 14, he was leading his own group, the Modulations, performing in talent shows as Al Green, wearing his brother's clothes. And mother found out and he was doing that and she got on him. She's like, you doing what? You singing secular music?
I said, no.
And you know he got a butt whipping for that too. Got married at 17. What that? Them church people be doing some freaky stuff. And you don't want to send too much in the church and say, look, I know we're only 17, but we can get married now.
Right now.
And we can have all the sex we want. It's no longer fornicating if we come together in the presence of the Lord.
He left home.
Yeah, and they were getting freaky.
Yeah.
He was getting real freaky. Ended up having a child with her. By a year later, she had a child. So when you get married young and you're not using anything, he was going raw. Glenn Jones and his first wife were going raw. This raw teenager is going raw, just skin on skin, just getting busy in the back of the church when nobody's looking after choir rehearsal. He's just doing it and doing it and doing it well. He represented Matthew and she was raised in Revelations.
Oh my gosh.
So he ended up meeting James Cleveland. in a gospel group with James Cleveland, and got his publishing jacked, not by James Cleveland, but by the record company that James Cleveland was signed to. Now James Cleveland was a big time reverend and performer, and he was making major money back in the 60s and maybe even as early as the 50s. And Aretha Franklin's father and James Cleveland, I believe, were very close. And Aretha Franklin's Amazing Grace album was done at James Cleveland's church. Right. So, and he's also on Aretha Franklin's Amazing Grace album. I've heard that a million times. That's back when I was going to church 2 or 3 times a week. My freshman year in college, boy, they had me in there. I'm playing all the old gospel. They was like, play this new gospel. It's called Commissioned. It's called Shirley Caesar. Play this. I'm like, man, I'm gonna hit this Aretha Franklin. But yeah, so he ended up getting a lawyer that got him out that deal. It's interesting how he said, and this is how the music business is shady. That's another example. He was at a hotel And the A&R person said, sign this contract. So what they do is they get you at an inopportune time. You can be doing anything. You can be about to go to a show or just getting out of a show, whatever. And they'll put that contract in front of you and say, all right, sign it. And you don't have your lawyer there. You don't have time to read it. So what they did to Glenn Jones was the lawyer put the contract in front of him and said, sign this. And if you don't, we're not going to pay for your hotel. So he and his group are in the hotel. And that bill hasn't been paid, so he ended up signing it and signed away his publishing rights. And it turns out that the lawyer left without paying for the hotel. So he still had to pay for the hotel room. So he got a new lawyer down the line, got him out of that contract, and got a new producer who was Norman Conyers. Now you know Norman Conyers. Come on now, you know Norman Conyers?
He's a jazz drummer, composer and arranger.
He's known for being a composer and arranger of some major songs.
But he produced and led some influential jazz too. He did jazz too.
He did that, yeah. He did jazz, R&B. Remember Phyllis Hyman did "As You Are"? That's Norman Conyers. I believe he also did "Bet You by Golly Wow" when Phyllis Hyman did that. Michael Henderson. Jean Carn. Jean Carn did the song. Oh my goodness, what's the song she did? Oh, what's the song? Oh, Closer Than Close. Closer than close. Sweeter than sweet.
Yeah, I love that song.
Closer, closer. That's her. So Norman Conyers was busy recording gospel music, and Glenn Jones was busy recording gospel music. And Norman Conyers heard his second gospel album that he did with James Cleveland. And that's when he, tried to get him to come and work on his album, the Norman Conyers album. And Glenn Jones didn't want to do secular music. With his mother, he wanted his mother to get ostracized and people talking trash about her. But his mother gave him his blessings, and they did Melancholy Fire. And they took off from there, and that was produced by Jean Carn, the woman who did Closer Than Close.
Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on YouTube at Lyrics and Lies.
So what you gonna break down?
Well, you was breaking it all the way down. I was going to jump in when needed.
I break it down to the very last compound.
It down to the bone, to the bare necessity.
That's what I do.
So that's what I was going to jump in when I was needed. You doing a fine job.
That's what we doing, Lyrics and Lies.
Fine job.
And he met his wife, his second wife, because he got a divorce in the first, and met his second wife, and started doing love songs to her. Go ahead, what you got?
But it took them a minute before they got married. He still was out there for a minute before
he met the woman that would later become his wife.
Right, because because there was a minute.
So the church boy, he said, "Look, I love the Lord and I love this woman, but I got some fornicating to do before I mess around on you. I got to go out here and do my thing.
I can't marry you right now. I got to get it all out of my system, I guess."
For real. So he went out there and did his thing, and he got his first big hit, "Show Me."
I like that song too.
Show me what I gotta do. I used to always say, if you gotta tell a woman to show you what, she wants you to do, you're gonna be in trouble. Sometimes women want you to take charge. They want you to show them what they like. And if they don't like it, then they may show you some things, or they just may not call you back the next time. There's nothing worse, fellas, than thinking you put it down and you don't get that call back. I'm like, hello? Can I speak to? You had the wrong number. No, this is you. This is you. She like, you had the wrong number. This is her sister. That is you then. Oh, come on now. You getting played like that. That happened to me a couple of times. For real. This woman wanted me to do a certain couple of things and I ain't want to do them because she asked me to do them. No, you don't ask for things like that in the bedroom. You just let it happen. She asked. I didn't do it. I protested. And she cut back my black ass.
Cut you back.
She cut me back. I called her. She was like, she's not here. I'm like, this is you. Somebody else got this raspy voice. she's not here. I'm telling you, call. I'm like, you know what?
Don't.
That's all right.
Don't.
I ain't calling back no more.
Don't even tell I called.
I'm mad. I was mad too. Because I really wanted to do what she wanted me to do, but I just wanted to do it when I wanted to do it.
I got you.
So I learned a lesson that day.
Then when she asked, next time you just do it.
No, instead of calling her, just go knock on the door. All right, so
Okay.
after that,
We've only just begun.
well, that second album slumped, and he blamed it on the marketing. A lot of artists do that. They blame it on the marketing. It's the marketing's fault. The label would have put more money in marketing, and people would have really heard my hits. And that's a lot of payola. You got to pay these record labels, put up the billboards and commercials, and really pump things out there. But he signed with a new record label because he got dropped. He signed with Jive.
Jive Records.
Right. And that's when he came out with his biggest hit, We've Only Just Begun.
I like that song too.
You like that song? Did you buy the albums?
No.
We were too young back then.
Yes, you were.
But,
I was just about to say that.
But that album,
I heard on the radio.
that's a number 2 album. And it was number 2 for a while, but it would have went to number 1. But what was number 1? Michael Jackson's I'm Bad.
Oh, yeah.
So Michael Jackson stopped a lot of people from...
But to be number 2 under Michael Jackson is good.
Yeah.
Come on now. To be number 2 under Michael Jackson.
Well...
Because Michael Jackson could have been 1 and 2.
That's true. But I know he rather like, look, let Mike slump for this 2 weeks and let me just reach the top of the charts. Yeah, because I'm,
But Michael Jackson was bad. So,
he was bad. He said your butt.
You only just begun, but he was bad.
He said your butt is mine. And he was talking to Glenn Jones. But that's when your boy came in, one of your favorite singers. So go ahead and break that down. Blackstreet.
Oh, I like Blackstreet.
But your boy.
Who is it? Why you
with
didn't
him.
name him?
He wants you to do it.
No, I want you to say his name.
Glenn Jones.
No, I'm not talking about Glenn
Oh,
Jones.
my bad. Dave Hollister.
Oh my gosh. Holla.
That's one of Shay's men.
Holla when you say Dave Hollister.
Holla.
I didn't know until I saw this Unsung that Dave was even a background singer for him.
He's a background singer.
They sung along with him doing his travels.
Toured with him for 6 years.
Yeah, for a long time.
And then they mentioned that, and I didn't know, what I found out later, but he was with, Dave Hollister was with Digital Underground.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember seeing him, and maybe we didn't pay attention or whatever. But I didn't know that either.
Well,
but they became really good friends.
Right.
During the tour, and he had Dave had his back, and he had Dave's back. So they both were. But then we all know that Dave Hollister went on his own. But they always still remained friends and had each other's back when needed.
Right, right. So it's interesting that the label wanted him to be more like R. Kelly.
And that was so funny that they even mentioned R. Kelly with all that's going on, but it's a part of the unsung and a part of
it's the truth.
On. So you have to. I mean, how can you go against 12 Flag? And Seems Like You're Ready, and Ignition, all that. That's a lot to. And then too, Glenn Jones was a lover. He didn't want to be talking all that kind of stuff like R. Kelly. He didn't want to be sexy. He wanted to be loving and breaking it down, and he didn't want to talk like that. He
still loved the Lord, basically. He still loved the Lord.
So he wanted to give respect. He wanted to still show respect in his music and how he sung it. So he didn't want to. And that's another thing that the label kills me with. And I noticed that they show this, and even when they break down different artists, when another artist gets put on the label and that person starts doing well, that doesn't mean that the other person can use that same ingredient for them to do well. Everybody is individual and they're different. That's the reason why you hired them and put them on the label, because their individuality, then you want them to be like the person.
Right.
And this happens often. This
that's
ain't
greed.
The only one. This happens often.
That's greed.
Yeah, that's crazy. You're trying to make somebody they're not. He's not R. Kelly.
Yep, and they abused all that to the point where he had to leave their label, and he rolled out, went to another label. I think he went to Atlantic or something, and that's when he had his first number one hit, which is Here I Go Again. You know how that song goes?
I sung it 3 times. You was like, what song is that? I was like, I don't know.
Anybody asked you to say all that on camera? The mics are on. She told me, "I'm gonna put me on a spot like that. Made me look bad."
Woo! Anyway,
How the song
I like
go?
Here I Go Again.
How's it go?
I can't do it anymore because
No, seriously, hum it.
Right.
Come on, you gotta sing it. What?
I did it. I hummed it.
Here we go again.
And that's what I hummed.
Man, it ain't sound as good as when I said it.
Oh my gosh, Money Green, you just want to sing anyway.
I can't sing. I don't know all the lyrics to that song.
I don't
so
either.
I can't sing
I
it.
can't help you.
Anyway, Glenn Jones got his number one.
I can play it for you though.
He got it. He got his number one hit. Michael Jackson couldn't stop him from that one. That was it. He was in there.
There was a lot of harmony in that song too, and it was a really good song.
And Sylvia Rhone. And Sylvia Rhone's name always comes up.
It's always not good though.
She came up with that Dana Howard episode
Yeah,
we
that
did.
was a good one.
Yes, I think she also came up with In Vogue. She's known for being in the middle of breaking people up.
Yeah, that's not good.
But what did she say to him? That song "Here I Am" didn't sell because it's too adult. Basically,
She said that. I don't even remember that part.
yeah, they were saying he was
crazy.
too adult and too adult contemporary, trying to say the music was too old for the main crowd or the
But it
pop
hit
crowd
number
to.
one though.
No, the next one, the song after that. And what's it called? "Here I Am." We're talking about that one.
Oh, here I am. What did I say?
You were probably thinking about "Here I Go Again."
Oh.
We were talking about the entire album.
Oh.
So
that
he
guy.
ended up. Atlantic didn't pick up his album option, and he left. He got dropped from that label, but they didn't pick his option up, so he didn't get dropped. He was just left by himself. They went their separate ways.
Yeah, he did. He just didn't get picked up.
So the owner of his studio, and this is some more shady stuff. The owner of the studio he was working in said, "You know what? You don't have a label right now. We can form our own label." And Glenn Jones was like, "Yes." And he said, "Yeah, we can be partners." Yes. And after they agreed to that, he was driving home and the police pulled him over and said he was laundering drug money, or the attorney was laundering drug money. They thought Glenn Jones had something to do with it.
Oh, yeah.
So he really didn't have a label. He had a friend who owned a studio who got him caught up and jammed up into some craziness with the police. So he got off of that, but he still had to file bankruptcy, sold his house to get from under some of that money. Then he got cheated out of money by probably his accountants and managers and everything. And he said people that he helped stole from him, and that's a sad truth.
Yeah.
You know, he helped people who were in, dire need of a couple of dollars here and there, and they took advantage of him and stole more from him. He hired people. You don't have any money? All right, you can do this with me. Just do this job and you'll be straight. And they stole money from him. So the brother has a big heart, and he tries to do the right thing and look out for people. Just unfortunate that the favor wasn't returned, but we know how he is, and we know where his heart is, and he's succeeding in the end. And all that financial pressure, one thing about him, he kept grinding. He kept putting out music, kept releasing albums. He kept doing shows where he could, and then started writing and producing for other people, gospel acts, secular acts, whatever. He was doing his thing. And that's the great part of the story. What I believe he said, he ended up getting diabetes.
Yeah.
You remember that part?
Yeah, he did. And we did forget to say that he did eventually marry his wife.
Right.
He did get married, and she also suffered with
some type of physical ailment.
Physical ailment too, and it's in your joints. It's called and I always say it.
His diabetes had him, when you come back to it, his diabetes had him suffering memory loss and dizziness, and he didn't know what it was, and he found out it was diabetes. So from there, he got it treated, got back out there on the road, singing, doing what he loved. One great thing he did, in addition to the music, was that he created the Love Jones Foundation. And that's bringing music to elderly care facilities and children. And that is so dope, because he said it was inspired by his mother. His mother was in hospice, and he would come there and sing to her. And he said that's the only time she would really show signs of life. She would respond to his singing. That was so tight and so deep and so emotional. And he said that was in her final days. He would just go there and sing to his mother. And one thing I know is the brother can sing his ass off. And he sings with little to no effort. And I want to be able to sing like that. God knew what he was doing by not blessing me with that skill to sing to such a high degree. Because sometimes I hit notes that sound real good. I just can't put 8 or 9 of them together, but I can put I can string 6 or 7 notes together. I do. Anyway, I'm not even gonna say what I was about to say because your mother's listening. But that brother can sing for real. Brother can sing. Brother, yeah, the boy's bad, but he's been lifting the spirits of others.
And you don't have to put all that in it too. Like, you know how people go all over the place?
Right.
He got that mellow, smooth voice. He doesn't have to do all that.
He does, real strong.
He doesn't have to do it. It's just, he could do it straight, move up in a little bit, but not do all those riffs. He's not a riff singer.
Right.
That's what I like about him. He's not. I'm not saying riffs are good, but it's nice to hear somebody who can just sing without them and still do an effortless job.
Right. And then he say his spiritual mission is to lift the spirits of others. And that's the bomb. He does so much Boys and Girls Clubs, raise money for them, works with the Boys and Girls Clubs. What else does he do? He said, well, pretty much watching his story, he's so grounded that the church and music pretty much kept him on the straight and narrow. He hasn't gotten into any problems. You don't see any drug problems, any alcohol problems, any party animal problems, any problems with the law like you hear with a lot of artists. He's been on the straight and narrow doing his thing with music and church, staying at one with the Lord, Shayz. And Yana Crawley from Sunday Best, who won Sunday Best, that's his niece. A lot of people didn't know that. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, Yana Crawley.
Okay, shine a light on it.
Hey, we can do that. Get her to do some secular stuff, and we can do a show on that. Gospel to secular. But big ups to Glenn Jones. When he comes to your town, go check him out. He's gonna put on a great show. He's gonna bring the ladies. He's gonna bring out the couples. Mature evening. And I look forward to catching him. I would definitely go catch him when he comes into town and check out some of these albums. And I'm gonna leave it right there. What you got to say?
All I gotta say is thanks for spending time with us with Glenn Jones on another episode of Lyrics and Lies.
Oh, Shay's trying to get into the Quiet Storm. We got to put a Quiet Storm episode together. She can't put that voice in y'all. Matter of fact, we can try that right now. Hello. This is Money Green coming to you with the Quiet Storm. That's right, baby. I'm gonna get up in you with all types of music this hour. We have coming to you Roni by Bobby Brown. If you don't have any chicken, you can just pull out the cocaine. We also have End of the Road by Boys II Men. If you want to break up with somebody, call in with your dedications. Hopefully, you'll never have to see their ass again. Finally, if you want to hear It Never Rains in Southern California, we're going to play that. And if it's somebody that doesn't get moist, fellas, you make sure she hears this song. Because it never rains down there. That's it for the Quiet Storm, Lyrics and Lies. I'm Money Green with Shayz on the mic. And we'll see you the next hour.
Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on YouTube at Lyrics and Lies.